Good morning, Posey. I'm Cage.
And I'm Katie.
Well, Katie, it's that time of year again where things are finally starting to warm up and things are coming to life again.
You're right, Cage, and the same could be said about all of our spring sports. Let's take a look at some of the highlights, memories, and accomplishments from some of our spring teams so far. But first, please stand for a moment of silence. Now please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Coming up first, we have the boys golf team. This team is at the halfway point in their season but has already had some impressive rounds, beating Mount Vernon and narrowly losing to Modern Day. We sat down with Coach Wassemer and senior Max Renshaw to get the inside scoop of the golf team.
I have been coaching boys golf for since last year. I decided to do it. I saw that they needed a golf coach, and I figured I had plenty of experience, and I kind of wanted to get back into it. It was more of a reason to also kind of get back into get back in the swing of things. Let's see. Most consistent player, I'd say, as of last year. Last year would have been Carter Hanna. This year, Caden Jingleball and Reese Thompson are kind of holding it in pretty close. They're fighting for a spot, I'd say, but they're both doing relatively well for this year. Probably, if I'm looking for someone to goof with, probably Jonathan Schmidt or Henry Martin, just because I can usually always make them laugh in some way. It's kind of hard to tell the most improved player that's on the team because really we're barely even halfway into the year. I would say this year, I'm going to say in terms of also maybe last year too as well, I'd say between Braylon Games or Max Renshaw. Mainly just because I'm surprised with Max for being a senior who's never played golf before, come out here and shoot somewhat consistently. You know, we're working on getting some things if he's never played golf before. There's a lot of little things you got to change for players. And then Braylon's really improved since last year. I'm liking the amount of he has a strong ambition to play, and he's very good at listening and is trying to do the things that we say to try and get better. And make his swing more consistent.
What is your least favorite situation in golf?
It's got to be within 100 yards of the green. My wedges are rough. I can't seem to figure them out.
Who is most likely to jump in a lake to fetch their ball?
That's got to be you, Raylan. I've seen you hit multiple balls in the water, and they're all pretty good balls.
Who is the longest driver on the team?
Definitely Caden. He's definitely the most consistent out of all of us.
Who has the nicest clubs?
Henry, just because the new irons that he got, he had a good set earlier, but then he got even newer ones, so definitely him.
How many balls do you think you've hit in the water this year?
Oh, I'm definitely in the double digits. I'd say 25, including practice. So yeah.
The ladies softball team is having a fierce start to their season. Defeating difficult teams such as Tecumseh, Gibson Southern, and even Henderson, the softball team is definitely seeing the product of their hard work. Leading by example this year, there are 4 dedicated seniors on the team: Shayna Farrar, Maddie Olander, Lauren Keene, and Erin Hain. These ladies are not only outstanding players on the field, but great leaders off of it as well. They focus on building team morale and offering guidance to other players as needed. Varsity is coached by head coach Mr. Gary Gentile with assistants Kevin Wassmer and Jason Hain. The JV is also coached by head Mallory Lowe and assistant Jack Lowe. Mr. Gentile adds that he is excited to see how this team gels together. Another highlight for him is seeing them display their passion for hard work. For many girls, this is more than just a spring sport. It's a family. With an outstanding winning record, this family of ladies have played their heart out and are looking forward to future success in the postseason. Good luck to these ladies on the remainder of their season, and great job on fantastically representing our school.
Now that we're finished getting into the swing of things with golf and softball, let's strengthen our idea about the work that these athletes put before practice.
Now sending it over to Josh and Tad for strength and conditioning.
Thank you, Cage and Katie. Today, Josh and I are disseminating throughout the gymnasiums to learn more about the hard work and dedication that the strength and conditioning classes partake in. Coached by Mr. and Miss Shank, as well as temporarily being coached by Mr. Kuhn, this class builds the foundation for almost every sport that is offered at North Posey.
We're going to warm up a little bit by interviewing Vince and Braylon, and then finish playing a game with Ian.
I'm here with Vince Scheller and Braylon Games to discuss some details regarding strength and conditioning. Would you guys like to begin?
Yeah.
All right. What would you say is the most difficult part of taking strength and conditioning?
I would say, personally, the EMOMs. The EMOMs are dreadful. Some of them are alright, but most of them, no.
Yeah, the platform's finishers are just insane with all the crazy stuff that we got to do that we've never done before, especially the kettlebells.
What is your favorite thing about strength?
I say it gets your blood flowing because most classes you sit in a room, you're not active, but this one gets your heart rate up and wakes you up.
It's nice to go in and get better every day and get stronger, and it's just a good thing to do to get exercise.
Does strength and conditioning help you out in your sport?
Yes, because if I wasn't taking strength, I'd be way out of shape by now. I'd probably be like 250 pounds.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just for sports, but it's just better for your overall health. It helps with just life, but for sports, yes, it does help.
And lastly, what is your favorite lift? Or your least favorite lift?
I would say the least favorite lift of mine is I'd probably say push press. I hate push press.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta agree with that. My least favorite is definitely push press. My favorite probably power clean, just because it's like, I don't know, I'm just good at it.
All right, well, thank you guys for joining us for this interview. Now we're going to spot Ian and Josh for a short game.
Thank you, Tad, and I'm here with Ian to play a little game called Guess the Weight, which means we are going to blindfold Ian and put 2 different kinds of weights in front of him and see which of them he can get right. Now let's begin. All right, Ian, let's go ahead and close your eyes, man. Hold on. Let's go ahead and... All right, let's go ahead and lift up the weight right here in front of you. Which weight do you think this one is? A 5-pounder or a 10-pounder?
I'm guessing it's 10.
10? All right, let's pick up the other weight. All right, go ahead.
10.
10? All right. Let's switch it one more time. Come on, you got this.
5.
All righty. Well, you see, he's a strong man. He gets the weights right. Now let's send it back over to Maine.
Now, to focus on the girls' tennis season. This team is a very young team that has worked hard this year to beat through some tough competition. With a very young varsity line, they have fought to better themselves every match. Now let's take a look at some of the highlights from this season so far. This team is coached by Mr. and Mrs. White. Head coach Mr. White stated, "We have a very young, passionate, and enthusiastic team that stays positive and works to get better together." Assistant coach Mrs. White praised the team on their ability to learn from their mistakes. Thank you, coaches, for your leadership with this team. This year's team has 3 seniors, Emma Moore, Faith Curry, and Grace Coleman. They do a great job at leading the team's energy and are such good supporters for the younger classmen. Thank you so much to our seniors.
Typically at practices, people will play challenge matches, or we will do different drills, and then doubles players and singles players will split up and we'll just kind of hit around in different ways.
Practice typically consists of like our usual warm-up, which is running around the courts and doing the spider and stretching. And then we usually split up into groups and we do drills. And then we usually end the practices with a fun game. The team dynamics, I think we all get along really well. And we have a bunch of inside jokes that nobody else really understands. So that's probably my favorite part.
My favorite memory is when we were riding home and Mr. White forgot there was train tracks and he had to stop really fast and Madeline's ice cream rolled all down the bus.
Yeah. Say Coach White's behavior towards us, like he likes to dance a lot and that's fun to watch. He makes a lot of jokes and overall he's just a great coach. My favorite place to get food would probably be Dairy Queen, just because they have ice cream, and who doesn't want ice cream after a match?
We've gone to Dairy Queen a lot this season, and I love the gravy with the chicken.
My favorite is Taco Tierra.
Mr. White's 2 rules are no surrender, no retreat, and it's kind of just like don't back down and always be ready to compete. So the hard hat goes to the player that played hardest or had the best match that game. So it just kind of rotates. It depends on the game who gets it. So.
The girls still have quite a few matches in the season before sectionals. Good luck to our Lady Vikings.
Now heading on to baseball. They are a very young team with just 2 seniors, but they are not letting that slow them down.
The 2 seniors are Amy Collins and Mary Keene, and have been great leaders for the team so far this season. And they are both set to play college.
The baseball team has gotten into the full swing of their season.
Coaches to find out a little more.
Complete honestly, nothing at all. I'm just worried about throwing strikes and getting outs. I try to keep my head blank. The more thoughts I have, I tend to throw less strikes, so I just try to minimize the thoughts. I have 3. I have a 12-6 curveball, and then I have a slider and a fastball. I have 4 pitches. I throw a fastball, 2-seam or 4-seam. I throw a changeup, slider, and then a 12-6 curve.
So usually the coach gives us the signs, and it's a 3-number sequence, and then he tells me like 3, 5, 4, and I'll look at my wristband, and then he tells me what's up there.
I don't really think, like, if I think too much, then I'll just get in my head, but I do make pitch adjustments, and then it helps me.
This is a great leadership opportunity and it allows me to better my teammates within the sport.
It's a very fun experience, but I wish I would have joined sooner.
As just a freshman, Ellie Jo Johnson has already broken a school record. Ellie broke the 400-meter dash record, which was set back in 2011. The old record was 1 minute and 12 seconds. Ellie Jo's time was 59.99 seconds. Congratulations, Ellie, and we can't wait to see what other records you will break next. When asked how the distance runners were doing this season, Coach Bosecker stated that the runners have been putting in the miles, and their times are reflecting all of their hard work. Senior Gavin Wheeler leads the boys' side with the recent personal best in the 3200 of 10 minutes and 49 seconds. The girls are led by junior Olivia Eshe, who ran a great 3200 and finished third at the Princeton All-Star race 2 weeks ago. Coach Bosecker stated that these athletes continue to impress their coaches on and off the track. He stated that Cole Newcomer states, "We run long so others don't have to." He hopes to continue to run long and fast as they set some new records along the way. When asked about the sprinters this year, Coach Pickens stated that this team as a whole has really come together. One thing we are most proud of is how they encourage one another during practices and competitions. We are so proud of them and we cannot wait to see what happens next.
We'd like to wrap up our sports special by revealing your votes for the top 5 games to play with your friends.
Starting off at number 5, we've got ping pong.
Coming in at number 4 is cornhole.
Vikings Nation's third favorite game is 9 Square.
Pickup basketball is your second favorite game to play.
And winning the top spot with nearly 50% of the votes is everyone's favorite card game, Uno.
We'll be back on Friday, May 5th for our next broadcast. And in honor of Cinco de Mayo, we want to know your favorite Mexican restaurant. You can vote by scanning the QR code or going to bit.ly/NPTV Top 5.
Thanks for tuning in to our last sports special of the year. Good luck to all our athletes as they finish out their season.